Good afternoon, boys and girls from the internet. Welcome to your favorite podcast where we talk about music and different things. I really hope you like the first emission of this podcast. This is the second episode of the podcast. And today we are going to be talking about different things in music. In the last in the last emission, I had my guitar, but this time I won't have it because we are not going to need it. In this emission, we will be talking just like in the last emission. We will be talking about music theory, we will be talking about music history, and I will be telling you some stories which are interesting for me to talk about when talking about music. I love music. It's not like what I'm thinking about to study. Well, I'm really young for that now, but I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I should study that because I really love that. I know how to play piano, guitar, and a little bit of bass. That's not the topic here. We are going to talk about different things, not only about my life. Um, I have been studying music since I was like 12 years old. Like 3 years ago, I started with music. Uh, I'm sorry about that, guys. In the last episode, we have been talking about Utkian Laxis, which is the base of all of the notes that we know nowadays. It was pretty interesting. I hope that you guys really enjoyed it. In that emission, we talk about this Utkian Laxis, which is the base of what we call in Spanish solfeo, and in English is called as solfa, just like that, which is like to say like verbally the notes, just like to get like the pitch and everything. Um, so today we will be talking about different things, but I would like to give you some music theory before we start. Um, the base of all of what we know in music, it's by the written music. The written music, it's like when we like write what the person has to play, or when we read what we want to play. For example, if you want to learn how to play piano, you can download like the pentagram and to read it, but it is not that easy. In the pentagram is this structure with five lines. Lines. I hope you guys see it. I think you don't, but I hope. For the people that are listening to us in Spotify, it's just like five lines, and the music has a basis in the keys. There are different keys. The two of the keys are the G key and the F key. The G key is this one that you're looking at here. That's like, and it's like that. I have seen a lot of musicians who get tattooed this key. Well, that's really strange. And this other key, it's the F key, and as you can see, each key has a dot. The F key has two dots, and the G key has one dot. Well, for the people who are only listening to us to this podcast, we are the F key is just like a kind of a C inverted, and it has two dots. The dot of the G key is in the second line of the pentagram, and it shows us that the G note is in the second note. So whenever you draw, for example, I'm going to draw it here. Whenever you draw a note here, for example, this one, it is it means that if you write a note in the second line of the pentagram, it means it is a G note. And this is really interesting for me because when you when you take well, this is the G note in the second line, and in the next blank between one line and the other line, it means it's another note. And when you go one space like to the next line, it means it's another note. So in total, you can represent a lot of notes inside the pentagram, but you can also like show different notes, but like with adding lines under the original pentagram or above the original pentagram. So it is really interesting, and in the F key between the two dots, it's like the F note. So this is because, for example, the only instrument, this is a really interesting thing. The only instrument that uses the two keys is the piano and the organ, which are kind of similar. And they use both keys because it's necessary for the musicians to have both keys in only one song. For example, if you look for pentagrams of a specific song in internet about for piano, well, you will be able to see that there are two pentagrams. For example, the first one it's in G key, and the other one it's in F key. And for example, that means that you have to play both at the same time. So that is why the organ and the piano are one of the hard, in my opinion, are hard to play because you must read in two places at the same time. And for example, people who study music can like read it just like you take like the sheet and you give it to them and you say and you tell them play this and they start like playing it. But for example, for me that is really hard and I have to study like the whole sheet before starting to play. So yes, the piano and the organ has have to pentagrams, and one of them, the usually the G1 is for the notes, like for the harmonies, and the F key it's for the chords. In last episode, we talked that a chord it's like the union of three notes. So yes, when you play three notes at the same time, it can be in a piano or in a guitar or whatever you need. It's a chord. And for example, the G key it's used for all of the instruments except for the piano and the well, they use it too, but in the piano and the organ they use both. So yes, that is what I wanted to tell you. And next episode, we will be talking about the different failures in music, the different failures. So now we will be talking about a really interesting story, which is about. Well, I wanted to make like this kind of section in all of the episodes for telling you a kind of interesting story. Well, as you know, two of the main composers of the like of all the history of music are Beethoven, Ludwig van Beethoven, and Mozart or Mozart, how it is often said. And well, a lot of people don't know that. Well, I have something here in my hair. Well, a lot of people don't know that they both had like a kind of reunion. And well, that was pretty interesting. But for example, today we will be talking a lot about their humor. Mozart was known because of being a really happy person. Like he was really polite, like those people that you like to be with. So Mozart was like that, and we know that Mozart was romanticism. It was from their romanticism. He was a romanticista. I don't know how to say it in English. I'm sorry. Um, and well, Beethoven well, because Mozart started to give concerts since he was like 5 or 6 years old. So at a really young age, he started to play like the piano and to give concerts and to make his own compositions. But Beethoven did that too, but because like Mozart was really popular, all of Europe, the whole Europe was talking about Mozart, like the prodigious kid. And when the father of Beethoven heard about Mozart, he started to hire a lot of teachers to teach Beethoven how to play the piano, how to compose music, to teach him music. So that was like really hard for Beethoven because he didn't like his father was really hard and really rude with him. So that's why Beethoven, even if you look for an image of Beethoven in internet, like a painting, he is represented as an angry person. You know, like he's with the eyebrows like this, like if always he was angry now, at least in the pictures that you can find on internet. And he is described as a person who had a really bad humor. But well, that is because of his father, because he obligated him to practice music. We know that Mozart really loved party, and he consumed a lot of alcohol and a lot of things like that, and he died at the age of 30 years, which nowadays is a really young age. And well, he made really important compositions, Mozart, also Beethoven, but well, imagine if he would have taken care of his health, he could be have been alive much more years. We would have much more music, and maybe we would be more advanced, you know. But well, Beethoven went to take classes with him, um, but Mozart told him he had a really good talent, and that they were going to start some weeks later. And Beethoven was all right with that, but then he got a message. I think it was from Polonia. I'm not pretty sure, but they told him that his father was really sick. So he went back to take care of his father. And when everything had ended up, he wanted to come back with Mozart, but he had died. So imagine a composition of Beethoven and Mozart, like getting together those talents. It would have been magnificent. But well, it was maybe destiny because when Beethoven wanted to come back with Mozart to take the classes and to compose together, um, Mozart had died. So I think it was interesting for me to read about that, and I just wanted to share it with you guys. So, yes, I hope you really like this emission of this podcast. This time I tried to speak slower because I think last time I speak really fast. I talk really fast, and I don't know if all of you understood what I wanted to say. But I hope you did because when I talk about music, it's like so exciting for me because it's what I love the most. So I just wanted to share it with you guys, and I hope you have a nice day. I hope you really enjoyed this podcast by going to work, doing your homework, whatever you were doing. So see you guys in the next emission of this podcast. Bye bye.